right, let's see if this is live. I am first time set up. I'll have it figured in just a minute. Let's see. All right, cool. We're up and running. So glad. Friends, good to be with you. My name is Erik Bledsoe. And if we haven't met, I'm going to mute this real quick so I don't hear it. My name is Erik Bledsoe. If we have not met, this is episode 1. Not trying to hide that. I want to show you what it's like to build a business live and in person on the air. I could have waited till, the lights were perfect, the studio was perfect, my intro was polished, all that, but I want to show you what it means to iterate and to build in real time. This show exists because my family, we built a 20 plus years of $453 million holding company, right? And so we have learned some things, some frameworks, how to build, mission-driven businesses in ways that leave a real impact. And so I don't just want to, we don't just want to keep that for ourselves. We want to pass that on, bless some other people, help each other make a bunch of money. My favorite thing to do is to bless my friends and to be a part of encouraging them. I'm a natural encourager. And so that's why I'm doing this. But I'm also doing this because I have kids. I have teenagers who are watching me literally, and they're going back to look and see how Dad did things, right? Like, what did Dad talk about when he built things? I want this to be for them, out loud and in public, right, where it was messy and real. This is not a highlight reel. I will have polished content that will live on the main channel, but this is a live show that I'm calling The Build, what it means to build a business. You get to watch in real time. Some days it'll be strategy and some days it'll be struggle, right? But that is the show. So I am building this for you and for me, right? You are not alone, and we can do this together in a meaningful way. What this show is, it's live coaching calls. So I coach in all over my city in Nashville, men's nonprofit, youth ministries, all these sorts of things, but I also coach in business. I'm the AI graduate professor at Lipscomb University in Nashville, Tennessee, in the College of Entertainment and the Arts. And I'm also a business coach at the AAA Accelerator with Leah Motley, the world's largest AI development community in the world. And so this show will be featuring entrepreneurs who are building AI-driven businesses and entrepreneurs who are wanting to include AI in their business more, talking about their real struggles, the journey they're on, and the live questions that they bring to the table. It's also going to be teaching frameworks and playbooks and things that my family has learned over years in building legacy businesses. And so if you're catching this live or on the replay, or maybe you're one of the first 10 people that will ever see this first episode, I don't expect more than that, then I would encourage you, follow along. It matters that you're early, because when you check back in a year, you're going to see what's transpired. My tagline, my hope for this show is build what matters, right? I want to help people who are on a mission, not just to make money, but to serve other people in such a way that people hand them certificates of appreciation with presidents' faces on them, right? We call it cash, and to serve them in such a way that they want to bless you so that you can bless others. That's my goal, not just information, but transformation for you, for your clients, for your family, and for those who you get to serve. So without further ado, I think it's time to check into my very first guest this week, which is so fun, Miss Katrina Roddy. I'm going to try and make all of this work at the same time, and we'll see if I can pull it off. Show number 1, here we go. Okay. Oh, and then I've got to let her in. There we go. Oh, yeah, there she is. Can you hear me?
I can hear you well.
There
Can you
you
hear me?
go. Yes, ma'am. How are you today?
Hey, I'm doing quite well. How are you?
Good. I'm really good. I just got back from a client meeting
Oh yeah.
that is going to
How was it?
translate. It was lovely. He even brought up at the end, like, hey, if this goes well, There are other people who will want to adopt this because I said so. I said, that's a really good position to be in. Let's do that.
Yeah.
So I'm clicking a lot of buttons right now trying to get the view set up on here, but I think I have achieved it. So how are you?
I'm doing well. I am doing well. Moving along, moving and shaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are. This for me. I'll be real low key about it, but to say it plainly, like you are number one, numero uno. So we are broadcasting right now on YouTube. I expect all of 5 people to ever watch this episode, but it's a first try, and we'll get it dialed in.
Good.
So, and I did a little 5 minutes before you joined in, just saying, hey, you get to watch it in real time. I have no idea what I'm doing, but we'll get this tech figured out, and I'm doing it for.
Eric, what you should have said was, I have no idea what she's gonna say.
Yeah.
I did not talk to her.
Oh no. Well, to the public, I should say this. Katrina and I know each other already. We've been friends for quite a while now inside this AAA community, and long-time friendship working on AI stuff together. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this inside of our community. I've already reached out to several friends, I would say, colleagues, whatever you want to say, and even then they've said, hey, where's the link? For some reason, it's just not intuitive, and so I will send them a link to where to book it, but also a link to this first episode show, just so they can go, oh, yeah, that's what it's going to be like.
I was scrolling through, and I got excited, and I sent you a note, and I talked to you through a direct message, and then I'm like, okay, so one day I'm like, all right, I just need to book a call with them so we can just talk some things through, and I kept scrolling down, and I'm like, book a video.
Yeah.
I like video. Book a video. And so I clicked on it, and I'm like, he's available.
Well, so that's fun, as you know. Like that has been the real pushback. Is my calendar's just always full, which is great. Which is why the opportunity to go live, because I want to prioritize this, obviously, because not only does it help us, but it helps a lot of other people.
Yeah.
Right. So how do we? My goodness.
Here's the other thing too,
So-
Eric. I enjoy being on podcast interviews. I am
Sure.
I'll do that. That's the
Yep.
thing that I love to do. So some people may shy away from it because they don't want to or understand. But no, I lean into it. So yes, you never know what you're gonna get.
That is exactly right. And I'm trying to figure it out now. Like, I've got to pin you in the right order, because I just noticed if I put you on the left, like, it looks like I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at me right now.
Okay.
Even though I'm pointing at the camera, for some reason the angle is inverted.
Yeah.
I need to figure that out.
So every time you move, I move. So if you're over there, so I look that way.
But now,
when you're over here, I can look.
okay, so I need to not pin you for everyone. I'll just pin you for me.
Okay.
Okay, so now did that help or no?
I'm still on the other side.
All right, let me.
So I can see you looking straight at me now.
Okay, I'm gonna pin this
But
for
I think
myself.
it's okay, because it just shows.
I'm sure it's fine. I just want to make sure we get it dialed in. So if I click pin for myself, now you're the only. So now I'm looking right at you. Is that right?
Okay. Yeah.
Does it look like I'm looking at you? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I have to go to. This is so fun. Friendship, cool. And then I have to turn off. I have to click a setting that says don't let anybody who. It says stop watching people who don't have a video feed. So the Fireflies, even though it's admitted, disappears. So right now it's just you and I have a screen capture software that is, it can see like the end of call button and the emojis, because if not, the proportions are wrong. But I wonder if I should. I don't know that even matters.
I have so the Firefly. What I can see is the Fireflies is up there, and then you're in a bigger screen, but I'm still in the screen. I'm in a
Okay.
little screen.
Let me
So,
see.
yeah, I can see. My camera's gonna keep going in and out because that's just how my.
Yeah, I see that. That's pretty cool though.
Yeah, it kind of moves when I move.
Yeah.
When I move, you move. Just like that.
And I just changed the broadcast so that way people aren't seeing all the emoji dots and everything. That's cool.
Okay.
I had to figure it out. Hey, fun. Well, good. So you had some success recently.
I did.
I
I
know.
don't know if I can say the name out loud, so I don't
Well,
want to put that out there.
don't say the you at your discretion. I wouldn't say the name of the people for sure, but
No,
I don't know if you can say the other thing either. Now that you say that, but
no, no, no.
you have a
But
large client.
I do. I have a restaurant franchisee.
There you go. That's now we got it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So that's pretty cool. I just booked a client last night. I have another client that I booked. So here's the thing, I am literally finding my lane.
Yeah.
And first of all, I'm an educator by DNA, really. But I don't know how much story or backstory you want me to give for
Yeah. Go
your
ahead.
YouTube
Go ahead.
channel. But I spent 30 years in corporate insurance before even becoming an entrepreneur. So in
Mm-hmm.
2017, I was laid off. I wrote a book. I'm gonna make this really quick. I wrote a book. It became bestseller. Started coaching people out of the book, entrepreneurship. So that's how I leaned into entrepreneur coaching. And after I did that, now we're 3 years in. 2020 happens,
Mm.
and for me, I live in Chicago, and our area was pretty much destroyed with the George Floyd incident. So there's
Mm.
a lot of protesting.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot going on. And instead of me sitting back and complaining or always talking about what the news media was putting out there, I decided, okay, that's not it. Like
Mm-hmm.
the narrative about the young
Mm-hmm.
people that were coming in and they were vandalizing and they were tearing up different buildings and stuff, I decided that in order for me to do my part, this was in my head how I'm going to help the situation. Is a lot of times people are doing this because they don't have any ownership. They don't even know what ownership looks like. So
Mm.
I decided whatever I was
It's so
teaching
good.
whatever I was teaching the adults about business and starting a business and running it, why can't I teach young people? So that brought me into youth entrepreneurship. Been running that for a few years, but everything I learn, I try to go back and teach young people. I started sixth grade. I go all the way through college. I have programs in place. I have a lot. So the AI thing became natural for me because I started using it myself. And once I started using it, everything I learned, my staff learned, this is what we go back and teach our youth. So I am taking AI classes or part of the accelerator group and learning so much about AI. I've leaned in to AI
Yeah.
because I say the same thing to people who are a little bit scared to lean into it.
Sure.
And I say, I'm just going to remind you about Blockbuster and Netflix. I'm just going to remind you about Borders and Kindle. I'm just going to remind you about Kodak and digital cameras. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to remind you. That's
Oh,
it.
that is
And I don't,
so good. A friend of
that
mine,
is,
uh, the executive dean at the school, I'm sure you remember. I'm the graduate professor of AI at Lipscomb University here in town, and the dean, assistant dean, used to work for Disney. And she said inside of their office they had a Walt Disney quote, and I'm going to mess up the quote, but basically his position was when a new technology comes along, you have two choices: steamroller or pavement.
there's now one of my quotes.
Isn't that good? It's like
Oh my
smoking
God.
or non. Like you only
Yeah,
have two.
you got two choices.
This generation
Join.
would have no idea about that reference, smoking or non. By the way,
That's how much I've leaned into AI.
that's so
So,
good. Blockbuster or Netflix? I actually, the founder of Blockbuster is a friend, so I know that story
okay.
well.
Yeah,
Also owns Waste Management and the Orlando
ah,
Magic. But anyway,
yeah,
that's a real
just
story.
go and watch it. Just go and watch the documentaries on Netflix. The Netflix
Mm,
documentary will tell you a lot. But
that's
anyway, I say that to say
wow.
I grew up in an era of computers or technology was new. And look, I'm really going to tell my age, but when I
It's real.
was
It's real.
in college, we got one computer, and I was the only one allowed to use it because that's what we use at my
Wow.
school. And when we were, what I, not in my college, but at the company that I worked for, we got one PC, and the manager's like, Katrina's the only one that can use it because she's the only one that knows how. And
Oh
so I did
my
my homework on that.
goodness.
So yeah. So I lean into technology. So naturally I'm here, learning as much as I can. I've been with Accelerator for 5 months now.
Let's
So I
go.
have 1 month left. People reach. I actually have 2 months left because Accelerator actually extended me a month because I've been helping so many people in the program.
Let's go.
Um, just with outreach. Just with outreach. I do these Eventbrite events. I'm
Yeah.
an educator. So I've leaned into, that's where I started this whole conversation. I leaned into AI education.
Okay.
And so I am educating individuals. This franchise that I got, it started with educating. I do education for free, and then it moves into my business model. So that's part of,
Yeah.
well, enough people should know that. So just running my mouth, I ran into this individual. That's what I do really well, run my mouth. And then another young lady called and she's like, I need help. So that's what happens after I educate them. They come back
That's
for
right.
something else.
That's so
And
good.
then that's where my business model kicks in. So last night I sent a contract out to a young lady who I helped her with her business plan writing. We wrote our business plan a couple of years ago. And she's like, I still don't get it. So I sent her a contract. She's like, what can I do to have you as a consultant or whatever? And I have a contract ready and I sent it to her and she's like, yes. Now we got to get my husband on board. Now we got to get like, it's
Let's
these people
go.
that are out. So that's the lane I'm in. I don't want to be someone's technical support.
Sure.
But what I've learned and found in this community is that there are people that I can go to. There are people who use me as their mouthpiece, and I use them as my technical support.
Yep. Yep.
So we learn from each other, and I just believe we can grow from there. So
That's so good.
yeah,
So
it
good.
feels good.
I
It
still
feels
remember when
good.
you brought up the Eventbrite thing to me. That I met somebody actually the other day. I asked about it. He said he had attended an Eventbrite thing. It's only the second person. So I said, hey, is that a thing to you? Like, what does that function like? And it was not. So I was able to tell him a little bit about how you've approached it,
Yeah,
which is wonderful. That's something I'm going to be doing a lot more in my own city. I think the education piece is ripe right now. I don't know how long it'll
mhm,
be ripe, but I've got some major contracts going out
yeah,
by the end of the week. Once I have those on deposit, I am going to uh, spend a large portion of my time just in the education
yeah.
piece and pay
Well,
for play, not free, but
here's what I learned from the education piece. People aren't even halfway close to where they
mm-mm,
need to be in there. So
that's right.
I heard you say, until that runs out or whatever it
Yep.
is. But I've learned by doing these event rights, and people come from all over the world. So I get at minimum 300 people sign up or register per month to be
Wow.
in my classes. It's like I do it twice a month. So I get 150 that register. And I have like all of these Eventbrite, uh, I don't know, trophies, so to speak, but I have these Eventbrite things that say, hey, you have been outselling or you've been, everything is sold out every time you have an event.
Nice.
So I keep that because, I won a sponsorship at one point and I can show proof. I have
And
sold
does
out events.
that you're not charging a ticket, but it is ticketed.
It is ticketed.
Yeah.
So they count it. They count it. And then what that leads to is a lead magnet for me. So I
So
can
great.
then reach out to people, later on. There have been conversations about you should charge for it. And I was like, no, because I'm giving people information they can look up, really.
Sure.
But they
Sure.
don't, but that leads to other
Sure.
things. So
Sure.
I like the way that runs. I show people, there have been several people in the community that's come to me and I've done an Eventbrite training, so to speak, to them. But that's the lane that I'm in. I'm in education. So I fit in there naturally.
That's so good. That's so good. That's where I'm headed. I am looking at so the stuff I'm going to be doing will not be available for free.
Mhm.
But I will charge for it, but I also will not be I will be giving them assets as a part
Yeah.
of that training, so they'll be paying for those assets to leave with some pieces. But I just think people are so hungry, and it's getting to be quite a fever pitch now as Claude Code, as Claude Cowork is out there. We've got AIOS, but then also Claude
Yeah.
is pounding features even through Claude Cowork right now. Like it's
Yeah.
I haven't even had time to dig into Dispatch. I understand that just came out in the last 48 hours, but I've been on the road. So one of my students actually told me about that last night in class. I was like, oh my goodness. I've been
Eric,
waiting for it, and anyway,
the average person is not even there yet.
I know.
My ears to the ground. I am out there, and what I hear a lot is my company just gave us approval for AI, and here they gave us approval for one tool. So it's Microsoft Pilot, it is Gemini, it's one of those. So then when they come to my class and they sit and they learn about all the other ones, they're like, we can't do that with the one we have, or they didn't even train us on the one we have. So
Yep.
I spend my time training them on their one tool, but then showing them outside of that how all the tools work together.
And they like with the university, what I found is, and I'm making an edit here real quick on our video. What with the
Yeah.
university, what I found is they won't let them. So if they go to a .ai site, it will block them. They're not
Yep.
letting them use something like WhisperFlow, which improves your productivity 6x by just
Yeah.
talking.
Wow.
You don't type anymore. And I'm like, we often forget as agency owners that we are the 1%.
Yeah.
So, and even then, maybe less of a percent.
Yes.
We're reading
Yeah.
every headline, understanding everything. I mean, I get pinged on my phone through a Perplexity news feed all day long.
Yeah.
And when Sam Altman says, "Oh, by the way, we're going to stop building server farms. We're going to start leasing the space." Anybody can know that, but like you and I want to know that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it's really important. I just left a company that is a major company. It's $1 billion organization, and they're paying me to set up context and intent, and it's going to be worth it in a massive way. But the person who I was meeting with said, "Hey, this is the beginning. Give me a plan for how I'd roll this out, even for my board of directors over the next 12 months." And I'm like,
Yep.
okay. And they're wanting to adopt it. And they're asking, when you get in the room, they're saying, "Hey, you need to teach me how I can use your services, because I know
Exactly.
anything's possible and I know I need you. And I'm afraid, which is why we're here, because I don't want to be left behind, but I'm not even sure what I need." So,
That
and then
is
they,
my point.
yeah, I know.
That is, when I talk to them, so the young lady that I did that I put a contract with, this was our proposal. I showed you the education. You're fascinated now. You're a small business owner, and you don't even know how to ask me for services because you don't know what you need.
That's it.
So we go in, we're going to do an audit, and then from there, hire me as a consultant. You get this many, you get this many, or you get this many. And what I do is keep up on the AI news for you.
Yep.
I go back because AI changes so
Yep.
often. I go back and revisit everything we looked at in your organization, all of your SOPs. I'm huge on SOPs.
Yep.
What changed? Is there a new tool out there? Do you need a customized tool? So that's how I become an educator and a consultant in that space, because I'm constantly looking those things up. To your point, I'm getting feed about them. I'm getting the news. I'm getting the news from it, and then just taking it and translating it to small business
That's
owners because they need it.
Well, and by staying up your own AI OS or through your own cron job system or whatever that looks like, just initiated workflows, you could run that report per client in a full automation on a Claude skill every 30 days, type in 5 words, it gives you an output, you review it, send it, and it's a massive value to them.
Yeah.
As you know, like just for other folks listening, like we're not charging for hours. And I think that's one of the biggest breakthroughs for agency owners in general, is just realizing we don't charge. We're not making $8 an hour anymore. This isn't. But it's so hard to escape that mentality and to think about what can I offer by way of value. And if we don't answer that question for ourselves, if we don't start thinking that way, we can't honestly serve them and answer their question, which is, tell me how I need you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're thinking too much about yourself. You're thinking about pricing. You're being insecure, as opposed to like, what would make this company $100,000 next quarter?
Yeah.
That's a question, and I think it's it's one of the journeys I'm seeing a lot of our students at the accelerator and other places have to go through, is having to learn how to, it's really leadership of themselves, but how to become the kind of person who thinks like an owner and not an employee. How to begin because if you can't think like a business owner, you certainly can't like begin thinking about an owner's problems.
Yeah.
If you don't know their biggest every dime they make, right? Like if you
Yeah.
if you don't know that payroll and team members are their number one expense. But like
Yep.
just it,
Over and over and over.
yeah,
Over and over.
like they're hoping to. I mean, a healthy fiscal company is making 10% profit, and if you say that out loud to a business owners, most of them will blush and say, "How is 10% possible?" Like it's just really hard. And so if we don't know that going in, and we're thinking about ourselves or the insecurity of the moment, and we're not serving them and we're not listening to them because you're not educating them and being in that circle, I think the hack you've found, which is the moment, is you're the gateway drug. Your services are the gateway drug that help them even scratch the itch of what's possible.
Yeah.
And then you're always just there for the next step. And I would say even more than that, when you can get past the passive and start making offers, regularly, which I'm addicted to. Hey, let me help you with that. I'd love to help you. Hey, can I tell you how I would help you with that if I were you?
Yeah.
That's when it lands. So I'm so
And
happy
let
for
me
you.
say this one thing. I know that that's what our group is for. And to your point, I don't think a lot of people in this accelerator go past, dare I say it, being in a club
Oh, that's right.
opposed to having an agency
Mm-hmm.
or having a business.
Mm-hmm.
So, they don't have the stepping stones it takes, because to your point, they're looking at hourly. What do I charge? How do I offer?
Mm-hmm.
What do I do? Instead of building something that will turn into a business for them.
Yeah.
So I think they have to get past that and understand. And remember, I'm an entrepreneur coach, and I've written business plans, and I've and so I try to explain that to certain people in the
Yeah.
accelerator. Like, this is not a club, this is a business, and you need to focus on these things. I don't care if all 6 of you are developers. You still need a marketing person, you need an
Yep.
operations
Yep.
person. You need
Yep.
to segment those so that you can grow instead of everyone sharing their ideas constantly. So
That's
it's good.
so good. And in fact, I think one of the things we've noticed is that the most successful people inside of the accelerator are the ones that take advantage of the coaching that's available,
Yeah.
and we can show it. Like the most wins are reported by those who are heavily involved in coaching. And
Yeah.
I think of course, the content is, yes, it's valuable, to say nothing of it, but information does not equal transformation. And just
No.
because you have access to the content, what happens is you don't know what you don't know. Until I had friends, I retired from full-time ministry in 2020, and I'd been a part of my family's numbers and obviously owning our companies and helping to run them my whole life. But I wasn't the one with my hand on the wheel, And obviously that's changed a little bit as things have grown, and now I'm doing my own thing. But like, I remember hearing about multiple 6-figure budgets was a regular part of my dinner table conversation growing up.
Wow.
But it did not occur to me. But we were still talking about our businesses. I have friends now. I mean, people who are $453 million, and they go, God, that's a lot of money. It's really not. There's so much money in the world. And in this city I'm in Nashville, it has made me just go, what? We get to go to lunch with people who are like buying and selling companies that morning. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what are you doing? Like, they trade them like it's baseball cards. And until I could get around that kind of conversation and people who are regularly dealing with fiscal policy and government implementation, and like, they're not worried about how much money they're going to make, they're worried about how they're going to pass this down to the next generation and setting up legacy and building these kinds of things, only then could I contextualize, oh, what am I thinking about paying bills, or like what I'm going to price things? It's
bigger than that.
It's so much bigger than that. So you have to go, and thank God I had that operating system from our family and was a part of that, but it didn't click for me personally until I stepped into that owner's seat and went, oh, how would I build this if I were going to entrust something, not AI. I think that will be such a hot flash as far as like the moment we're in. It's already growing so fast. I mean, what was possible on December 31st, it feels like antiquated at this point. But like, some version of a family legacy vehicle into the future, what would I have to do right now for that to be true? And being a proper agency owner, to me, agency is just what it is. It's an agent. I had a whole conversation with my daughter this week about agency over her life, and she's a teenager, so we're talking through these ideas for the first time. But I said, if I could equip anybody in any conversation, it would be to remind you that you are an agent of your own life. You get to decide. And I think being agency owners, sometimes we forget that we are we are employed to act on behalf of another for their prosperity, to bless them, to make them successful, and then we keep a fraction of that. So actually, we are fractional owners of their enterprise for the time we're employed. This is a big deal, which is why pricing and all these. Anyway, I get pretty fired up. But like, I had a conversation with somebody the other day. We've got a lot of business on the books right now, coming in over the next few months, and it's alarming, and I'm really grateful. But when I say those numbers, I'll have new agency owners or new people in our community go, how did you get to that? And I'm like, well, you're asking the wrong question. It was, how do you show enough value to a business owner that seems like a naturally relevant price? You can't charge $100,000 for something that only makes them $100,000. You need to show them where it's going to make them $1 million, and then you can charge them $200,000, and they won't even bat an eye, because that's a good deal. 5 to 1, yeah. Especially if it's cash over cash this year. Never mind projected earnings. So, anyway, I get fired up too.
Here's one thing I can say. When I worked in corporate for those 30 years, I worked in what's called large accounts, big accounts. Costco's of the world, Discover Card. These are these are big accounts. And so I'm used to the lingo. I'm used to the conversations. I'm used to sitting at the table with CFOs, and I'm used to that.
Yep.
What I say and I hear it a lot is, I want a big client. I want a big client. And I sit back and say, do you really know how to service them?
That's it.
They have different expectations. Do you really want a big client? Why don't you practice with the smaller ones first?
That is so good.
And then jump into the whale of things, because their expectations are different. But if you do enough of these, you have a system in place, right? And that's all I'm asking you to do. Put a system in place so that when you do get to a big client, you can show them systemically, this is how I've done things. This is what's made it happen for me. So it's a lot, but I mean, the community is good. It's good talking with everybody in it. I'm moving along. I learned the most. I got the most confident in doing an education piece from going to an educational piece. So I went to one, and because I was a little nervous about what do I teach? How do I teach it? And so I went to one that was a well-known one and from a big corporation. And I'm like, they didn't say anything. So hats off to Liam, because I learned a lot. And I'm asking questions that they're like, she's probably trying to pick our brain for something. But I'm asking questions that I've learned through being in the accelerator, and they don't really have the answer to it. So that gave me enough confidence to say, I can do the bare minimum.
That's so good.
And people need to learn they're still here.
That's it.
And I appreciate that, because that's another reason I can do it for free, because I can show you these things. I can show you how to get to these things. Now it's up to you to apply it.
That's so good.
I will, in my education, I'll load them with a lot of things, and I tell them, just pick 2. I just showed you a whole bunch of them. Just pick 2 things you're going to work on and move from there. I love it.
I love it too. Well, thank you for taking time with me today. The goal for this, obviously, to talk and kind of break it down today, going forward, my hope for these is that they're just coaching calls. They're just like my normal calls and whatever, you know what I mean? So I'm going to start sharing this all across the community, of course. And
it's so smart. It's so smart. I think all the coaches should do it, just because first of all, it gives you content now.
Correct.
And it's real long conversation.
Well, it's
like me,
content for you too. So once I get this published, I'll send it to you. You were halfway into your personal story, and I realized I got to turn her mic on. I think I did, but I couldn't tell. I'm curious. So we'll see it all figured out. But that was way back in the beginning.
Another appointment.
That's every week. Let's do it. All right, sis. We'll talk soon.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
All right. So the way that my life works is I go from coaching call to coaching call on these appointments. And so that was Katrina. I hope you got a ton of value out of her. At this point, we're going to dial into somebody new. I have not met Felipe Gerhard. Let's meet Felipe and hear from him. Are you there? Felipe?
Hi, Erik.
How are you? Can you see me, sir?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Hey, before I have you on, I just need to ask you. As you know, you booked a call through the community, but just as a disclaimer, you're aware that this is a live coaching call, and it'll be posted on YouTube, and all that is acceptable with you.
Yeah, it's okay.
Perfect, perfect. I just want to make sure. In fact, I need to put together like an official disclaimer, I guess, for folks. Um, so we'll be doing that anyway. Pleasure to meet you. Where are you calling from?
Nice to meet you too. I'm from Santiago, Chile.
Let's go.
Yeah,
So good. And did I pronounce your name correctly?
it's okay. Felipe Gerhard.
Gerhard.
Gerhard is uh, German.
Oh yeah, yeah,
it's,
very good.
it's it's Gerardo in Spanish. In German, Gerhard.
Ah, okay, okay. Well, I will have to. I will say Gerhard for a while.
No,
You're right. It will take me a minute to learn all that.
yeah,
Um,
Gerard, it's okay. No worries.
oh, well, thank you for being generous. Um, man, tell me a little bit about you. Obviously, coaching call. So we're here to dive into whatever your business moment is. Obviously, you've come to AAA Accelerator and AI and all of this. So I would love to hear a little bit about you, your business background, how you got into AI, and then how you found the accelerator.
Okay. Um, for 1 year, I've been studying. I studying AI, no code,
Okay.
building. I'm not a developer. I was for 10 years. I was a general manager in 3 different companies. In bakery company, in a restaurant business, and it's a beer industry.
Yeah.
Okay, so I I know I have I know what it happens in those kind of industries or businesses. Uh, I know uh, their problems about you have to do it all by yourself in operations, in finance, in management control, marketing, sales. You are always in a wheel. So the operations, like it it your it, every minute of you. So I saw I was working in the brewery
Mm-hmm.
last year. So I made a 6 months um, course of AI no code, and I study prompt engineering, then the four models, LLMs,
Mm-hmm.
image, video generating audio, and then different kind of AI tools. And then the last part was building workflows with Make and N8N. But
Okay.
I reached till the Make. I don't know how to make an N8N workflow.
Yep.
So I try to I try to implement that in the business, but the owner doesn't want that. So I saw a big opportunity, and I quit that job, and I was very sure that I had a great opportunity
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
to make a good business, my own business.
Yeah.
I always dream to have my business, and
That's
two,
awesome.
have more liberty. I don't,
Yeah.
sorry, but
Yeah.
yeah, with my time, to be more with my kids. I have a
Yeah.
9 years old girl and a 6 years boy, and my wife. So I was coming back to my house very, very late, so I didn't see in the week. So
Mm.
it's very important at that point. And I love to make. I love do sports. I swim.
Yeah.
I go to the gym and play tennis. So that that's difficult for being a general manager 7
That's a
days a week.
lot of work. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
How
exhausting.
that's my story.
That is exhausting.
Yeah.
So, what made you, take the dive and jump into the AAA accelerator?
Mm, yes. After I completed the 6 month course, uh, I had like two opportunities, but I didn't know the strategy. I wasn't sure about the delivery, the development, and
Sure.
the delivery part. So I saw a video, Liam's video, and uh, I began to follow him. Okay.
Yeah.
After I signed up for the free community and saw a lot of like strategy roadmaps, uh, guides, free videos, and was like very good stuff, very good information, strategy, and I followed him. I saw a lot of videos, so I thought if I'm going all in, I have to be prepared, and I need help, and I need a community to grow.
Yeah. Well done.
And and I got it.
Let's go.
Yesterday, Sunday, I was thinking about being part of the AAA community,
Yeah.
and it was amazing. Oh, you, woo, I can talk about too much. Mara,
Yeah.
woo,
Mara's a rock star.
yeah,
Yeah.
Liam, and the whole staff, the whole team. It's very good. They're
Yeah.
very professionals, and they are very kind, and they know what are they speaking and doing. And I was last week I was very like dizzy with all the AIOS
Mm-hmm.
uh, initiatives. So I wanted to update my strategy, my business strategy, and I talked to Guy, and he explained it me and guide me a lot. So
Yeah.
I get my more clarity in my strategy. So it's very good to have that kind of help
That's so good.
and backup.
You're making my face hurt. I'm smiling so much, man. That's such good news. I'm so glad for you. Good. Good, good, good.
Mm, yeah.
Man, what a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing that. I'm going to send that to our team just to make sure they all dial in, because this is the first episode of broadcasting these live. So I'm honored to have you, but man, what a story. That's what we hope for. The experience you've just outlined is exactly what we talk about trying to create for people, like where they just, you know what, they are seen and known and cared for, and hey, here's the path, and how can we help you on your journey. I feel very much for you, what you said about your family. My kids are now 14 and 15, about to be 16, and I have worked for myself or in my family business my whole life, and there is nothing like being able to say, you know what, it's Tuesday, I'm taking off today to enjoy spending time with the family, or to go swimming, or to whatever it is. You work extra hard, but those hours stack up in your favor as opposed to for other people. So welcome to the journey of being a business owner as well. That's man, and I am my passion is mission driven business, helping people not just that want to make money. That you can find
Yeah.
anybody to teach you that, but meaningful business, legacy business that helps build families and communities and make the world a better place. That's what I'm about. So good. Welcome to you, Felipe. Tell me, how can I be helpful? What is the I want to make sure this call is a success for you. We've got 17 minutes left. How can I help you most? What will you leave with that would make this time a win for you?
Um, I talked with Guy last week,
For
and
those that don't
Otto.
know, Guy is one of our other coaches in the
Yes,
Accelerate. Yep.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, that's great.
And Otto, that's
Yeah.
it's the sales
Sales
coach,
coach.
and
Yeah.
it's a very good one.
High
Thank you,
octane
Otto.
too.
And I was very like dizzy and lost with the strategy because a lot of things. So I was wondering if I had I have a lot of work to do because I'm building from scratch.
Hmm.
I'm using partnership with another developers from Workana. It's a freelance platform,
Okay.
and
What did you
one
say
or
it was
two
called?
sorry,
What was it called? I was just going to look it up real quick.
Workana.
Work Anna.
Yes,
Okay.
workana.com.
Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead. Continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and two other development agency here in Chile, because some clients want to see all the developers. They want to see the team, and want to know a little bit about them and what they know about development and building and delivering all that kind of solution. So right now I'm my first paid client. It's Rico, yeah. Rico, it's a technology multinational
Okay.
that they have their headquarters in Japan. So was like a huge opportunity for me
Yeah.
to to build more authority, to prove myself, prove everything I studied and my experience. So I partnered with an agency here in Chile that it's very known and very well. Um, so I'm developing um, lead qualification system for them, and we just delivered it to them. And now, in 15 minutes, I will have I'll have another presentation for building a generation lead system. A second opportunity in Rico.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a hope we. I'm doing the all the like the consulting part,
Mm-hmm.
speaking with them, knowing their bottlenecks, problem, everything,
Mm-hmm.
and then we will design the solution for them and build and deliver it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I have another. I, I'm building. I'm designing, building with my partner. I have to sell. I have to do
Yeah.
inbound system outreach.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is so much work. I don't know.
Yeah.
I I was like uh, inside a wheel. So please, guys, help me. I need I need some guidance,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I wanted to hear your guide too. Uh, every point and every coach have a different perspective,
yep.
and it's very good to hear about different perspectives. And I would like to know your perspective.
Sure.
I'm building from scratch, so I asked Guy um, if I make my um, niche more specific or build some not build or offer not so much like a consultant. So with the data that I have, with the data of my experience, I will like shorten my niche,
Yep,
niching down.
yep,
Okay,
yep.
so I don't know
Yeah, there's a lot
what
there. Why don't
think about.
I'll start
Yeah.
at a real high level, and then you can just ask as we go. Um, Man, thank you for all that. And again, I'm so excited for you. The first thing, let's talk first about the niching down piece. So you've probably heard the expression. I don't know how it translates, but the riches are in the niches, or it's niches, and I want to say niche. I hate the word niche, but regardless, it doesn't rhyme if you don't say it that way. Um,
Oh, it's okay.
the riches are in the niches. It's true, and yet niche level wealth comes from specific experience. And so, what do I mean? When you hear somebody like, Alex Hormozy or somebody else say, oh, they were able to start as a gym owner and then eventually teach gym owners who had 3 employees and a gym lease, and I think 15 clients were his kind of 3 characteristics, and they made a bunch of money. It's true, but after they've had a ton of industry level experience to be able to have niche level expertise to capitalize on. So there's a lot of ways to niche down. You can niche down in vertical, right? So let's say the cosmetic industry. So what do I mean? Medical spas we're a huge early adopter of AI because they're heavy dependent on incoming calls. So you've got somebody that calls, they want Botox, they want a facial, they want a massage, they want whatever it is. That has to go through a call agent that then calendarized, email or text message notifications goes out, and then you've got to put that internally into systems and all of that. And some of the early clients that I had were making a killing delivering those kind of inbound systems for medical spas. Well, until you get into and until you if you want to go into a niche with a medical spa, then you're going to need to focus on them and what their problems are, etc. However, the other way to approach that would be laterally, where you want to just deliver inbound systems, full stop. And you could go to lots of, I
Yeah.
hear lawnmowers in my neighborhood today. Those are always based on appointment and inbound calls and those sorts of things. So you could go inbound niche versus, you could go niche versus solution inbound or vertical. Either one works. I always think of it, though, most of the time when I've got a new client in, I think of launching a new business with regard to a service-based industry as, at least in AI, as an airplane or a boat. In the beginning, any direction is the right direction, even if it's the wrong direction, because momentum is the most important thing. A plane cannot steer, a boat cannot change direction without momentum. And oftentimes when I'm on a runway, the plane will take off the wrong direction. But it needs so much force in that singular direction to escape gravity, then it can turn wherever it needs to go. And so the same thing is true for your business. You only need a couple of clients at each altitude to go to the next altitude, and then begin to change direction so that eventually you reach a cruising altitude. Here's an example. I'll just use my own story. We built a lot of family business, obviously very successfully, as a family. The insurance part of our life was $250 million. after about 20 plus years of that, then we came across an idea that was hyper niche from having served so many clients that we were able to launch a singular business that did $150 million in 18 months. So you get it niche down. In AI, that's a new sector for me. I was actually in Christian music and speaking and public facing ministry for most of my career while all that was happening in my family. When I launched an AI agency, it was a brand new endeavor. My first client was last February, and it was 5 hours all in, $1,750. And I was still thinking hourly. By May, we were making $5,000 a month. By October, it was 10 or 15. Now it's, we've got 6 figures worth of bids coming in regularly. So it's one of those things where you take that expertise, you snowball. What happens is you serve 5 clients and apply the law of 80-20 and go, okay, 20% of my clients I don't want to work with again because I just didn't like them. You know what I mean? Or you could, so you can at least cut 20% every time, but you could also maybe dial in as fast as you want to towards the 20. So 80% of, the law of 80-20, 20% of what you do makes 80% of your wealth. So if you serve 10 clients, 2 of those are going to be your highest ticket. So then I'm always looking to apply some sort of rubric. And for my family and I, that rubric, I call it a crosshair. I'm a hunter. I like hunting and fishing. So one of my mentors told me years ago, I want to be in business like a rifle, not like a shotgun. I don't want to just shoot anywhere and hope it hits something. Yeah. The view out of a scope is really boring, but you always hit what you're aiming at. And so the crosshair for me is 2 things. On one half of the equation, it's me, and on the other half of the equation is my client. And I draw an X between them. I've got to get my iPad set up so I can draw this for you. But basically, the first thing is, am I good at it?
Yeah.
The second thing is, does it deliver value that triggers joy? I say joy because joy makes people remark. They go, oh man, that's great. And then they want to tell other people. So I'm all about referrals. How do I build a referral-based business? So I got to be great at something. They got to love it enough they want to talk to other people about it. It's got to be both of those. Then on their side, they have to then be willing to pay a lot of money for it. Because if I sell a commodity, if I sell a $50 widget, I'll never be able to sell enough at scale. I can once I'm large, but Elon Musk has been really helpful to teach us you always start with high-end luxury expensive products and back your way into mid-market and smaller products because you can afford to sell commodities because you have to sell 100,000 of them to make a profit. But if you start by selling $5 hamburgers, it's really hard to break gravity in ascension. So I got to be great at something. They've got to love it a lot. It's got to be a high-ticket item. And the other side is I've got to have joy in doing it. And the reason is I have to wake up every morning willing to think about my clients' problems more than mine. And it's when those first 3 things happen, you'd be surprised how much joy you can get out of doing something somebody really likes and is willing to pay a lot of money for that you're good at. I'm only looking for a 7 out of 10 on the joy spectrum. It doesn't have to be a calling. It doesn't have to be like this all-fulfilling, purposeful thing. I just have to know when I go to work every day, I'm making a difference. I can use the profit and the proceeds to do other great things in people's lives. Do you know what I'm saying? But I just want to know I'm really helping somebody out with a real pain that they're willing to pay a lot of money for. And I say that, a lot of money. To me, I learned this from Rabbi Daniel Lapin. He wrote a book called Thou Shalt Prosper. But he calls, and I just happen to have this on my desk. It was not a plant here. But he calls these certificates of appreciation that clients would rather hand me and get rid of so they can lay hold of the value that I offer them. That's really important because we do value-based pricing. So what you're finding with a big client, I recommend, when I'm saying high ticket, what I mean is I want a product in US dollars. I don't know, are you in Chile, you said? So I don't know how the money translates in Chile, but I want a client I only have to serve 2 or 4 of a month to cover my bills. So whatever that is to you, in America, that's $5,000-ish, $10,000, depending on how much tax and business expense you have. So I'm looking for clients where it's going to be between $5,000 and $10,000 for just the audit or just the engagement, that then I deliver a list of products they have the opportunity to purchase. The other thing I'd say is this: as you're building, and I know I'm giving you a lot because we only have 2 minutes, and I want to make sure you get as much value as you can.
It's very good.
You can,
Thank you very much.
yeah, sure. You can rewatch the replay later. The other thing I would say is this: agencies tend to say yes to every job because they get poor-minded, and it is true that we need to. I call it fishing. We need to fish our way up to bigger fish.
Yeah.
But you only need about 3 clients at any given weight class to go to the next weight class. So, and in fact, in the beginning, you catch worms to catch fish. It's not sexy. It's miserable. It feels like you're working in the mud. But after you get enough worms, then you go catch small fish. Then you cut those fish up and you catch bigger fish and bigger fish and bigger fish. That's where the analogy comes from. You only need about, maybe 3 clients at any given tier. So let's say you work with $1,000 engagement to do an audit or to do a discovery. Awesome. You only need 2 or 3 of those because those testimonials will carry enough weight to the person at the next tier.
Yeah.
So they just need to know you're looking to de-risk a situation for a potential client. So when they talk to Felipe, why should they choose you over anybody else? And what can you do in your resume, in your referrals, in your testimonies, in your case studies? And there's this old Hebrew proverb that I'm passionate about. It says, let another person speak your praise and not your own mouth. So it also says a good name is worth more than gold. I am making 100% of my revenue right now because other people are talking about what I do publicly.
Yeah.
Or because somebody else has thought enough of what I've done to hire me as a graduate professor of artificial intelligence. So now I have a certification that carries public weight that people can go, oh, we can trust him. So that's where I've spent all my initial energy. And honestly, the Lord was just kind to me. He tricked me into most of it. I wasn't doing it intentionally. But suddenly you go, oh, I've made myself a trustworthy source. And now the client who loved what I did is talking about me in public, and now my phone's ringing. When the phone starts ringing, you cash checks, because you can't advertise into that kind of success.
Yeah.
It takes other people speaking on your behalf. And then all you have to do is share other people. Their word. You say, hey, of course I'm going to tell you I did great things, but here's what John said. You know what? Here's what this client said. And you can just show them the quote and the testimony or the case study. And they'll go, oh, wow, Felipe's really onto something. And they want to know that you're going to be around. What happens if you die on a plane? Who do they reach out to? I've had that question more time from business owners than I can tell you, because as you go up the food chain and you're building enterprise grade solutions, they're going to say, well, what's the backup plan?
Yeah,
so who do I, you know what I mean?
point.
Yeah. So there's a path there, and obviously there's a lot more to say. Our time is up, but I just want to encourage you. You're on the right path. If you have found yourself in a lucrative position for a large company, that's cheating. That's a good thing. That's skipping. Like I played a lot of video games growing up. It's like a warp zone. You can jump ahead levels.
Yeah.
The good news is people and business owners desperately need what we have, and now they know it. So you've joined at the perfect time. I would just encourage you, especially because you're not 25, and neither am I, by the way. You have a massive advantage in its trust. Business owners, they'll trust anybody if at this point, but the fact that you've been in leadership, you've been in other businesses, and you know what it takes, you know the grind, and you can come with a little bit of experience. That's actually, I'm always looking to see how I can exploit, in a good way, your unique advantage, and that's yours. So you can go into a business owner and be like, look, I know what it feels like to run a company. Maybe you don't own the company, but you've run teams, right? And with your development. So you have a unique point of view, and that's what they're paying for. So don't give that away for free. Charge a high ticket price for it, enough that you can graduate to the next level. And I'll say this, when I first got started, it was taking 6 to 9 months to see the kind of return that I'm finding people are getting right now in 30 to 60 days.
That's a good point, because I'm getting like a little bit like anxious about to reach my goals, to be in the game. But I have to be more careful and like completing all the stages.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Felipe, I've got to jump on another call, but I know I've got another spot available this week. I'd love to see you there. You go back through the same call link. But there's a lot more to say, but I'm excited to have you on board.
Thank you very much, Eric.
Yes, sir.
Nice to meet you.
You too. We'll talk soon.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye. All right, so that was my new friend Felipe. He is going to crush it. So excited. Let's jump into the next one. This is my good friend Rishi. And we've been on these calls a long time together. Look at you, my guy. Making sure I got all the microphones turned on. You there? I can't hear you. Hey, there it is. Yeah. I am, I've got to go click all the right buttons and get you and I in the right place here.
Cool.
Takes me a minute. So how are you, sir?
Very good.
Good. I cannot wait to get the update. Hey, hey, that worked. I've got to read you this thing. I'm supposed to read every time somebody comes on because,
Sure.
Legal stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, obviously this is our, oh, I'm seeing the replay over here. We're on live on YouTube, so just need to make sure that by joining the call, you are agreeing to be recorded and broadcast live and future replays across other platforms. This isn't legal or financial advice, and you're responsible for your own decisions and results. Cool?
Won't have it any other way.
Let's go, baby. Welcome to the Build Show. So excited. This is episode 1, session 1, however that works. And Rich, I'm actually going to show what it occurred to me today. I'm like, I've had people like longstanding client friends like yourself who I said, hey, it's up now, come join it. And they're still not finding the link. So I'm going to have to go through and send some emails and be like, here's the actual link. But also what I'm going to do is give them a link to this first, series of calls so they can scroll through and be like, oh, this is what it's like to have a coaching call. So you are, yeah,
Nice.
and you're in version 1, man. I love it. Let me make sure I admitted our note takers. It looks like I did not. So that's why I was not seeing them. They're so ugly. I don't know why they're always there, but I made them go away. All right, cool. My guy, how you doing?
Good, thank you.
Good.
How are you?
How does it feel to be a new business owner?
It's strange and wonderful
Yeah,
at the same time.
it sure is.
It's very strange because it's a new feeling. I've always been an employee, so
Yeah.
always looking for direction, like a bit of a lost puppy. Take me somewhere. Yeah.
I know exactly how that feels.
or being told off for deviating from the herd.
Yeah.
All sorts of analogies come to mind
Wow.
to now being in charge of my own destiny and sort of forging my own path to, like, it's all me now.
Yeah.
So it's not, nobody tells me what to do, how to do, when to do, with whom to do, whatever I do, however I do it.
Also means we can't blame other people. It looks like I just hit the wrong button on our result, which also means we don't get to blame other people for the results, right? Like it's going to
Yeah, exactly. It's all you. Full responsibility, total accountability.
Oh, it's so good.
And-
So
yeah,
good. So
yeah,
I have an unfair advantage of knowing what we're talking about. For the listener and those dialing in, give me the highlights, like the bullet points on your own story the last couple. You and I have known each other, and I feel like we've been together like 7 months or something, 8 months now.
Yeah, I've been in the accelerator for about 9 months.
Yeah,
I
we've
think.
been.
And so yeah,
We
that's how
started
long.
off as coach, student, and at this point we're friends and conspirators. So outline the journey. Tell us, give us the highlights.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah,
So, about a year ago, I suppose, the idea came into my mind that I want to start an agency.
Yep.
So, and even the concept of agency was a little bit alien to me a year ago. So I was in another group, coaching info business, if you want to call it that.
Yep.
Sort of setting. I'm not going to take any names, but essentially not for any good reason or bad reason. It was a good experience. Every experience is a good learning experience. Everything happens for a reason and all that good stuff.
Yep.
But there I was trying to launch my offer as a life coach. And
I remember that.
Yeah. So, and
I'd
in
forgotten
doing
about that a little bit, dude.
Yeah. And I mean, I still feel I am a good life coach. I know that.
Absolutely.
And I know that a lot of that training and the time that I spent into, or rather invested into becoming a good life coach is paying dividends in terms of sales because it helped me understand people better. So,
well, yeah, I mean, you're talking about the emotional intelligence and the psychographic level of just dealing with humans.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what sales is. So, and I was speaking to another fellow AAA member quite early on in my journey as well, who is also a life coach turned into AI agency owner. And she asked me that, oh, so how, I'm quite curious about your journey in terms of how you went from life coaching to AAA, because I'm trying to do the same thing. I was like, what's different? What is the difference? It's the same thing. So you have a current state, you have an ideal state. You're taking your client from current state to ideal state. In this case, unless you're a developer, as a consultant, you're doing the same thing.
That's right.
So yes, you're not dealing with the emotional side of things as much, but then you're just taking that frame away from, let's look at the business side of things. And even the business side of things quite often is a bit of a, there's no business problems, there's personal problems. So having that having that understanding of life coaching will really help you as it helped me in sales.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And that's how I see it. So, and I started seeing that with in that course that I was in, where I was trying to launch my life coaching business, where most of the other students, let's say, or colleagues of mine, were agency owners. And for me to be there, so that course was for coaches, consultants, and agency owners. So I fit the coaches criteria, coaches, let's say, part of the group there, but there was not as many of us. There was more agency owners in that group than coaches or consultants, really.
Yeah.
So just seeing their success and seeing these young guys, mostly in their 20s, kill it, absolutely kill it with agency work. I was like, dude, I can do this. I've got way more life experience than these guys. I understand people better than these guys. I can pretty much sell better than these guys. What's the holdup? And that's what the coaches over there also said to me, that Rashid, this life coaching thing is a slow burn. It takes a huge amount of time to establish credibility as a life coach and then to scale that. And it's not very scalable either, because how many people can you coach? And then if you do group coaching, that's just dissolves the whole issue of this sort of almost intimate setting that you need to have personal, vulnerable life coaching for somebody. And if you do that in a group, then it just kind of defeats the point. So it's not that scalable. At best, you can have 10 clients a month. And no matter how much, like, unless you charge them really a lot, which will again take time to build up to anyway. It's a slow burn. It'll take time. You can do this, but like they guaranteed, like within 6 months, you get 10 clients or your money back, sort of thing. And that didn't happen. So I'm going to say I did get my money back, which was nice. So I got the learning and I got my money back and I got this understanding of what an agency needs. And from there on, I literally, just about the time that I got refunded, I met this CEO at an event at work. So that time I was working full time. And we just got talking. I had no idea who this person was. Like he was just a person stood next to a bunch of solar panels. That's what I saw. I approached him. I was like, oh, so please tell me about the business. What do you guys do? And he was like, oh, we do this offering where we are able to provide our customers a zero capex, full solution of renewable energy equipment that we install on their site. It costs them nothing, and all of their energy demands are met. Their peak energy demands are met with a renewable way. And I was like, what? It costs them nothing. So, and I said,
Wow.
yeah, it costs them nothing at all. I was like, what? So why are you here? Why don't you have like a queue of clients wanting to work with you? It's like what's the catch? Like it's a no-brainer, right? And they were like, no, we're very selective in who we work with. We work with only businesses that are well established, high energy users. Like we're talking millions of pounds or dollars per annum in terms of bills.
Wow.
So
Yep.
huge amounts. So they want high energy usage and credible businesses that they know that they will be existing for like decades.
Yep.
Because when they provide this equipment, sometimes it can take, let's say, a decade for that money to be made back in terms of how much energy it produces.
Absolutely.
In excess of what they already consume on their site. So that's why we need that longevity and that credit worthiness to be like 5-star.
Yep.
For us to then want to work with them. So we don't want to sort of have a queue of customers. We kind of are selective with who we work with, and we conduct shows. And I was like, so how do you find your clients? And they're like, yeah, it's a process. We conduct shows and we invite them for events and we host events. And I was like, okay, cool. And I was like I just love this. I want to help you guys and I work with you. That's guys right. to sort of to make this make this happen. Like I want more and more companies to work with companies like yourselves so that the planet would be a better place for my daughter. So there's a selfish reason here that I want to help you. And I've just started my agency, and I want to find a way that I can get stuck in and, you know, help you do whatever you do.
Sure.
In whatever way I can. And I'll work my ass off. I'll work for free if that's what it takes. But I'm really keen to work with you. And he gave me his card and it said CEO. I was like, oh shit, I didn't realize I was talking to a CEO. And then I called him, and then
now you are one.
Now I am one.
Hey, let's go.
But yeah, and then I got in touch with him. He picked up the phone. He said, I'll put you in touch with my sales and marketing director. And then there was radio silence for a while. And I was like, oh shit, I need help. Yeah. I don't know how to run an agency. I don't know shit about anything. I've said to this person that I'll help, but I don't know how I'll help. I was just going ahead with the why. Simon Sinek says, if you figure out the why, then everything else falls in place. I kind of went with that.
That's fair. Yeah.
Logic.
Heck yeah.
I was like, you know what? I want to do this. Where there's a will, there's a way.
I love Simon Sinek.
And slowly but surely, I suppose the how emerged in terms of, okay, well, there's this Liam guy who has this community.
Let's go.
Who, you know, AI and everything. AI can solve all the problems of the world. It might create some problems, but, you know, whatever. We can have that discussion another day about how good AI is for the world or not. But essentially, it gave me enough to work with in terms of like, I want to be a part of this community.
Yep.
It's I had just got my money back, so it wasn't like, so I had cash in hand, let's say, to invest into AAA. And then I was like, no, this sounds good. It's a sweet deal. One-on-one time with coaches. That's not something that's common with a lot of these info products.
Yep.
Most of the times it's sort of group coaching calls where you don't get that one-on-one time. You ask a question, you get an answer, and then you're just waiting for other people to ask questions that may be of use to you or not. So the one-on-one aspect was really attractive to me.
Yeah.
The aspect of not having to be ruled by when the coaches conduct the call, I have to make myself available. If I'm not, then I miss the slot.
Sure.
So both of those factors were really valuable for me, because as a single parent, I need to balance my time with my daughter, with my job at the time, and my entrepreneurial sort of dreams. And this seemed to check all the boxes in terms of I can decide when I want the coaching calls. I can decide how many coaching calls I have,
Yep.
with whom I have.
Yep.
If I want more help with sales, I can get more help with sales. If
Yep.
I want more help with development, yada, yada, yada.
Yep.
At the time when I joined the accelerator, you could even book multiple calls stacked one after the other in the accelerator.
Oh yeah,
and I
yeah,
did that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
We did that.
I remember
And
that. Yeah,
that-
we did.
yeah, yeah. And that changed. Fair enough. I think some people, probably like myself, probably abused that system. And then there was people who wanted the calls and didn't get enough time with the coaches. So fair enough. I sort of swallowed that bitter pill of betrayal. I was like, oh, I was told I could book as many calls as I wanted to, but
I think the rule is now you have to just wait. Well, I don't know anymore, but I think what it was for a time was you have to wait until your call is over for most coaches.
Yeah.
Like, and then you can book the next one. But for me, the rule was a little different. It was, do you remember what it was? Something about
it's 12 hours for you.
12
So
hours,
for
yeah.
you, it's a bit different. For everybody
Yeah.
else, you have to have the call with them,
Yeah.
whatever you've
Yeah.
booked. And until you've had the call with them, you can't book another.
Yeah. Yeah, mine was because if we enforced the other rule, you wouldn't be able to talk to me more than once a week. So, it's a good problem to have. Thanks be to God.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So funny.
So yeah, and from there on, where it was like, okay, I need some help with how to serve this business, who I've said that I'll do whatever it takes. I got stuck in with the AAA, learned the tricks of the trade as far as AI is concerned, managed to have really good conversations with coaches like yourselves and the others about how I can leverage my current skill set to
Yeah.
kind of take this path of being the consultant and not the developer. And there still is probably more developers in that community than there are people like myself. So that works very well in my favor, I would say.
Yeah.
Where there's in some way, one of the sales coaches, Otto, he said this at the time, and I was like, well, if I don't know how to develop, how will I sort of build this business? And he was like, well, you can get enough knowledge from the course itself to just understand the big picture.
Yeah.
And then all you need to do is close deals, and then you sell first, build later.
That's exactly.
And we also had that conversation.
Oh yeah.
And it was a bit of a light bulb moment when Liam himself said that as an acquisition specialist, you should get a higher percentage. I was like,
Yeah.
what? Are you kidding me? I was like, what? I don't have to do any development and I can have a bigger slice of the pie.
We
What?
in our family business we say nothing happens until somebody sells something. Right. In Nashville, Music City, they say it all begins with a song. Until you got a
Yeah.
song to play, no musicians are necessary, no vocalists, no famous people. You got to start by writing a song. In music, you got to start by selling something. That person, other than the CEO, I can't tell you how many people I know, like salespeople, make as much as the owners sometimes because the
Wow.
commission is so high. So it's that's a real thing, man. And even if they don't make as much, they have a better quality of life because they don't have to run the company. They just sell it and go home.
That wasn't a concept that I was too well acquainted with.
Mhm.
So it took a while for that to sink in, first of all.
It's so
I was
good.
like, this is amazing. So I can just do the selling and then just hand it over.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, there's a lot more to it. You can't just hand it over and leave them to it. But equally, the penny dropped. I was like, oh shit, this is
Yeah.
legit. I can do this.
It's so good.
That's when it sort of started materializing with that business as well. I started producing value for them. I even pitched a solution to them, which was worth £50,000, which is about $70 odd thousand.
I remember that.
Without any knowledge of any development at all, just by having conversations with developers enough to know that I had some people in mind that are saying that they can build this. That's it.
And that was
Just
really
with
when
that.
Claude was starting to code lovable style dashboards. I remember you bringing me a dashboard for a pitch. And I was like, hey, how did you do that? And you're like, I didn't do anything. This is all pretend. And I'm like, that was really funny. You're right.
Yeah. So I started off doing that with Claude and ChatGPT to
Yep.
just build a basic demo. Then somebody, I can't remember who, one of the developers in the community introduced me to Lovable.
Yep.
And they showed me, oh, there's this Lovable tool. You can just literally, bring things into existence. If you take your idea, put it in there, and it will make it real. It'll make it physical, visible. Okay, let's give this a go. I gave it a go, and I was like, this is great, because with Claude Code and with Claude, not Claude Code, with Claude LLM and ChatGPT LLM, I used to just run out of tokens in creating those demos.
Yeah.
And it was the free version.
Yep.
And Lovable, although was $20 at the time, it was another agency owner who put a post in the Circle community that he's looking for just like somebody to spar with. Let's just like a partner who, like an accountability kind of partner, or somebody to just share ideas with and build along with and just experiment on things. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So he was the one who introduced me to Lovable. And Gon, you seem to have a question on your mind.
No, yeah. I'm just thinking about something real quick. It just came to mind. I'm making a note about it while we talk. Go ahead.
Yeah. So so we started talking, and he was like, and I was like, I feel I need a website. Every sort of legit business owner, obviously, people want to see a website. It's like, sure, if you have a business, you want to sell something, you have a storefront. So it's a website, similar sort of thing. And he was like, no issues, dude. You can build a website on your own with something like Lovable. I was like, no, really? And he was like, yeah, I'll show you. And we got on some calls, like within a couple of hours, 2 or 3 calls, I had a website.
Yes, sir.
And it was working, and I vibe coded the shit out of it. Just like completely, everything was just like, oh, I want this button there. I want it to be yellow. I want it bigger. I want the font to be Helvetica,
so
not
much
whatever.
better.
And just literally vibe coded the whole thing,
Yeah.
built my own website myself as I wanted it, however I wanted it.
So
and he helped me sort of set it up. And once he had helped me set it up, after that, I was just off. And I was like, $20 a month for something that gives me the power to have complete control over my website, and be able to build these demo tools, which make it real for business owners to see that, okay, if here's the problem that you have, here's what a solution could look like. Within hours of them telling me, not even hours, if in principle, I could do that in minutes, but I would usually go back to them in the second call that's saying that, well, this is what you said that you had a problem with.
Sure.
This is what the solution could look like. And let's go a little bit deeper into this in terms of doing discovery and yada, yada, yada. So
I'm just noticing you and I have like 5 minutes left, but I want to make sure, at least for the sake of this call, you get through your own story. But tell me, so you got through, I'm cutting you off just a little bit to say, you went from not knowing anything to agencies, to AI agencies, to, I don't have to be a developer. I can sell them and be good at intuiting and imagining possibilities that then make this possible. Then I can partner with developers. And one thing has led to another client, some minor success, but then recently you've had some pretty significant success come through. Tell us a little bit about that.
So in the last sort of, this quarter pretty much is when I would say, launched myself. Although my first 10K was made towards the end of last year. I'm close to touching about 40K in this quarter. So that's quite a significant improvement and a win for me. And that's been some of that follow-on work from the work that I did last year that led to those leads materializing and those deals closing. That happening in this quarter. So, and I've started my biggest project yet, which is with a wedding venue. And for them, we're building a business operations system. So all of their bookings, all of their sort of billing, even their website, their marketing, everything digital that they have in terms of assets, we're building that for them.
So good.
So that's a multi-5-figure project. I even feel that they're getting a really good deal. It being 5 figures, it could potentially even be 6 figures if they went external.
Sure.
Because it's everything their business needs to be able to make, and each wedding is like $20,000.
Oh,
so
yeah.
£20,000 rather. So that's $30,000, $30,000. So if you think of it, if they get 4 weddings out of that system being good, working for them in the way that it will work and make everything easier and slicker,
Yep.
then it pays for itself.
Yeah.
You'll get way more than 4 weddings because of this.
Are so expensive.
Yeah.
So expensive.
Exactly.
That's huge.
This will enhance the experience not only for their staff, but especially for their customers.
Yeah.
If customers'
Yeah.
experiences are enhanced, they'll tell other customers, and like slowly we'll have a fulfillment problem.
Yep.
I'm sure of that.
Yep. That's so good. And do you want to share, like, part of I think what's neat about your journey is you went from employee to prospective business owner to going all in on yourself as an agency, and it's kind of
I quit my job in the beginning of March.
Yeah. You quit your job, and then you also, do you want to frame what's led to the wedding venue? Like, I don't want to share your own news, but
So there was a significant thing that happened in the middle of in February, actually, where a client's client actually approached me saying that, oh, I have this web estate, or this clients whose websites my brother was managing. He's no longer there. He passed in 2024, and they had one employee who was managing the whole web estate, and then he's quitting. So I need somebody to take this on.
Yeah.
If I sold the business, it's going to be hard for me to get anything for it quickly enough, and all these clients need somebody to take it over.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I have a whole community of developers.
Yep.
Yeah, man, I've got this.
Yeah, man.
And I just told him that, look, I mean, if anybody can do this, I can, and whatever anybody can do, I can do better.
Yeah.
Because I can have multiple people working on multiple websites and multiple clients.
Yeah.
If needed, I can have multiple developers on the same client.
And as you know, I mean, and for those listening, like I say that all the time, but one of the things, especially if you're part of AAA or part of my own coaching system, like one of the things you need to say repeatedly, which is true, is, hey, I'm a part of the largest AI development community in the world, where I have access to not only emerging technologies, but some of the greatest developers in the AI space, full stop. If we can't do it, it can't be done. That's a true statement. I mean, we're talking about thousands of developers at the highest level, and there's nothing that we can't do. Now, how we get there, the timelines, all that, but like, it's possible. I just ran into a product recently that somebody's selling for $90,000 that meets the need for one of my own clients. And I was in a meeting with them delivering, and I said, oh, by the way, that thing I told you I couldn't do last time, turns out we can now. One of my colleagues has built it, and so let me get the pricing on you, or for you, but I can make that available. And they're like, okay, let's go. So we can sell each other's products. We can partner together. There's no reason, if you build a solution for a wedding venue and I'm at a wedding and I'm meeting the wedding venue owner on the dance floor because they're serving food or whatever, I can say, hey, you know, by the way, here I am. This is what I do. And did you know I have a product that'll change your life? And man, that's helpful. Make you money, make me money, and, you know, bless each other. So, dude, our time's up, unfortunately, but obviously I'll see you again real soon. I think you and I have a call coming up very quickly later this week. And also Thursday, I put out the notice to say, hey, these calls are going to go live, and several people just have not found the link. So I'm going to send them like the direct link like I did with you. Check that again, by the way, make sure it works. And then I'll send them a link to these initial calls so they can see how it goes and kind of demystify it. This is going to be a long-term experiment with AAA, you know, cross-pollinating our efforts. So this is really fun. But I'm glad you and I got to hang out on day one and break the ice. So
that's cool.
I'll see you again soon, and we'll dive in to whatever's next.
Oh, all right,
thank
buddy. You so much.
Yeah, man. See you, Rachel. Hey, let's go.
I didn't get to speak about the story behind this. Maybe for another time.
Dial in for Thursday. I'll talk to you then.
Perfect.
All right, buddy. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
All right, let's see who's next. Reach and I have been together a really long time. So excited for him. He is crushing it right now. Looks like Chris Andrade. All right, let's dial up. I always forget, I have to admit. Okay, while Chris is coming in now, I say it's 3:32. He may, oftentimes folks just like me, their schedule is a little busy. So let's talk about it. You may have heard people mentioning AAA Accelerator. I mentioned that at the top of last hour, but one of my roles, I'm the graduate professor of AI at Lipscomb University here in Nashville, Tennessee, and also do men's coaching here in our city. One of my other honored positions I'm so grateful for is I'm the business development coach, one of two, at the AAA Accelerator. That stands for AI Automation Agency Accelerator. It's founded by a gentleman named Liam Otley from New Zealand, along with Josh Brown, his co-conspirator, and now we are a team of many. We are so, it's so much fun, actually, to be in this group and have seen unbelievable adoption in the AI space, and we're getting to be a part of founding an industry that otherwise has not existed, right? And so what a neat time to be alive, helping people who want to get into AI realize their dream, realize the dream we're all kind of living in. And man, if you've been in the AI space or paying attention at all the last 3 months, most of us have had a real hard time sleeping. And not for fear, but for joy. It has just been unbelievably fun. The things that came out with Claude Cowork, well, actually I guess it was Claude Cowork was released on a Monday night. I want to say it was early January. The next day, Microsoft had lost, I think, 18% market valuation because those in the space recognized it instantly as the future death of subscription-based softwares. And then 2 weeks later, I think OpenClaw came out, which rocked everybody, and all of the big dogs are still trying to get themselves into OpenClaw-like situations now. Claude Code, which Liam is championing right now through his own kind of operating system, calling it AIOS, has the similar capacities where you can dial in via Telegram and work remotely. I understand in the last 48 hours, Claude has released something for Claude Cowork called Dispatch. I've been out of town, to be honest. One of my own students mentioned it to me last night at Lipscomb for the first time, so I'll have to dive into that a little bit more. You know, one of the things that is really important for us as agency owners is to recognize that at its most fundamental level, our job is to serve. As business owners, it is a weak position to wake up every day and think about yourself. It is a weak position to wake up and say, how can I maximize my own money? When at the end of the day, the thing that is the most, makes us the most wealth, makes us the most successful, is actually helping other people. My hero, Jesus, said, the greatest in the kingdom is the servant of all. And I believe that the whole system is rigged. Whatever your faith position is, obviously I'm a person of faith, a very passionate Christian, but whatever your position of faith, it stands to reason, and we can show by 100 examples, that the one who produces the most value, the most service on behalf of their client wins. You will hear this said time and again by whatever influencer you follow. Value, value, value creation, add value. Well, value is just a way of saying I'm helping people enter into an outcome they want or escape from a pain, fear, or unfavorable circumstance they don't want. And in exchange for that assistance, because I'm not a nonprofit, or this is not a hobby, because I'm a for-profit venture, I get to bless them, and they get to bless me with certificates of appreciation, as Dave Ramsey says, with presidents' faces on it, right? Rabbi Daniel Lappin taught me, like, we get to bless them, and they hand us certificates of appreciation called the dollar that they would rather let go of, so they can lay hold of the value of the service that we render or offer to them. I want you to think about that for a minute. This, formerly, happily known as a Benjamin, just happens to be on my desk. One of my kids' birthday money. People fight for this. This causes wars. This causes all kinds of conflict and difficulty. In some ways, this is God of a lot of people. And I want you to hear me say, people would rather give it to you to lay hold of the thing that you offer that's more valuable to them than keeping that money. Think about that. If I just got back from a trip with my daughter, we took her to. Hey, Chris, I'll be right with you. We took her to Disney, and I was happy to give Walt Disney my money so that we could lay hold of the value they offered and the joy that they gave us. And in the same way, your clients are looking for value for you. They're looking for something that you offer that's of service to them, and they're just waiting to hand you certificates of appreciation. So my encouragement to you is think about how can you serve your clients. Don't wake up every day thinking about your problems. Wake up every day thinking about somebody else's problems, and they will pay you cash so that you can help solve it for them. So with all that said, it looks like Chris has joined us live. So excited. Let me switch over to the broadcast screen. Chris, so good to see you, my friend. Oh, you got to turn your mic on.
That would help. I wanted respect. So, yes, I am doing Let's Beyond Belief.
Hey, before we dive in, I've got to read a little bit of things since we are live, which is super exciting. So glad for you to join on the first day of this new thing. But I just have to say out loud, by joining this call, you agree that this conversation can be recorded and broadcast live and future replays across platforms. This is coaching, not legal or financial advice. So you're responsible for your own decisions and results. But if you're agreeable with that, let's build something.
It's interesting. Yeah, this is really cool, actually. So I am ready to hear you out on the strategy that we're trying to implement just to convert really easily.
Yeah, man.
And your statement that you just said about waking up with understanding how to solve other people's problems.
Yeah, man.
It's your quickest way to resolution, right? I spent the past 3 months understanding the environments that are available because, oh my goodness, there's an abundance of availability.
Yeah.
But then that's just surface layer. The secondary layer is understanding that these options that are available, that you have to be adaptable because things are changing so frequently inside of it.
Yeah.
And then if you're not built to understand that, then you get lost in the mix. And this is where we found that the adoption rate is being lost because they're not understanding the after effects of integrations, implementations, solutions. The story isn't painted clear enough. And that's where I'm making sure that doesn't happen again, you know?
Yeah. Well, look, for those just dialing in, and again, this is day one of the show, the build. And so just helping people build businesses that matter, right? And so folks know you're calling from AAA Accelerator, where I'm one of the coaches, but 5 people may see this, so I have no unrealistic expectations about
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello.
About week number 1. But because I want to do this right, why don't you give us just real quick so that we can maximize the call for your good? Why don't you give us a quick overview of your business, what you're trying to build, and then let's dive in with a question.
I'm fucking glad I made this, dude, because holy crap, it'll make this conversation a whole lot easier. Because, I think I tried to impress you before with coming to this meeting. We're live. Yes,
Dude, yeah, it's how it is, man. You got to tell your people you love them.
I know, right? First day back, we just came back from Disney, like you said.
Oh,
and I was
nice.
trying to figure out why you pay so money for this trip, and I was trying to poke holes, and you can't. You can't poke a hole at Disney because ultimately they have spent thousands, they solved every single problem.
Oh, that's so good.
You can have when you're at that park, right?
Yeah.
There's not one problem those guys have not thought of that they have solved.
It's so
So
true.
when you're at that park, you are just in the park with your family. The only thing you got to do and have to figure out is how to make my kid smile last longer, because it's so easy. It's so easy then.
That was really well said. One of my favorite like little sleepers on that is the trash cans. Like, it's not dirty. It's because there's never like more than 30 feet between trash cans. Some silly number. There's a metric though. Like, you can never be more than a certain number of feet from a trash can at Disney. And I love it so much. The only thing they have not figured out is
like, the first time ever, we need a break every once in a while. I mean, I think I tracked 39,000 steps.
Woo!
39,000 steps, right? And I was like, okay, I need a break. I need to go to the men's room.
Yeah.
We need to go. And I was like, holy crap, I think this is the first time I've been to a restroom and it's a pleasant experience. Like, it's cool. It smells good. The fragrance is pleasant. I get a break from the kids.
They're visible, but they're hidden. They're not like, you can find them, but they're not like, oh, there's a restroom. Yeah, so good.
I had to like pull up my map.
So good.
Little plug. My wife's the travel agent, so I got to work.
Oh, write it off. Yeah.
To make this experience helpful, and it was.
Yeah.
So I was working and playing at the same time, so it was a real cool experience, documenting the kids and helping understand my wife's agency.
Sure.
In a way that her clients need when they're there, because she tries to anticipate the same things that they do. It was fun. It was cool.
Yep.
Cool thing. But she's actually on this list, of opportunities, just a real quick high.
Yeah, let's look. Go ahead and walk me through this.
Polymath Guild. I started this back in September. I've been a consultant since 2010. We automated our first greenhouse, and I just had this idea of open source hardware and creating problem-solving solutions. And we solved the problem of water. It's been a very dear passion of mine of collecting, storing, saving, because I hate seeing water being wasted. I live in Arizona. Water is precious for us. And I run a landscaping company to understand water. And once I saw how much water is wasted because no one can identify a freaking broken sprinkler or a manifold, pressure valve regulator, and it just pouring thousands of gallons into the street, and it pisses me off. Anyways, because I've been doing this for so long and I've been such a diversified industry, the idea became relevant because I had so many specialists that I work with, and I have this guild, a group of specialists. At the end of the day, we all come to a table when you're working with individuals and you have a set of skills that you put on that table. The idea is for everybody to be able to have access to that set of skills and verify that the guy who's doing the skills has integrity. He has the ability to do what he says. He's verified, right? Because working in construction for the past 4 years, not understanding why the industry in construction is so cutthroat, not understanding why the interactions have to be so catered to that. Anyways, I realized that if you're honest and you are upfront and you can convey a message in a way that makes sense, you can get a lot of things done without having to worry about if this guy's going to screw me over or take away my client, try to underbid me on it alleviates all of that issue and just actually allows you to do the work that's on the table. And that's because I've had instances where I bring contractors into my job site, and the next thing I know, they're trying to take the next job coming up. And it's like, why? Like, dude, you don't think he's not, like, you don't think I see that, And it's like, huh. So understanding what subcontractors are now and then navigating this world that we are now in with this industrial revolution, and depending on who you talk to, we're either in the fourth or the fifth iteration of it, right? And we're just lucky enough to be alive. And so I am now interpreting all these tools that are available, and I am using my Polymath Guild as a way to kind of have a conversation, because at the end of the day, I have a photography company, a mapping company. The robotics is what I started the greenhouse automation stuff with. And I met all these people, and now I have this table where I have the ability to connect not only my other companies, but everybody else.
Okay.
I've had this inner calling in my life just to connect people. I don't know how to describe it, but if you ask my mom, I knew every single neighbor we had since I was a kid. It's
Sure.
just how I am. So I am trying to figure out a way to turn my ability to convert relationships and foster the ability to convey trust, right?
Yep.
I feel like it's an art, and I'm really understanding these integrations and the problems that come of it with our first client, and really trying to prevent it from happening again. So this is what I have done, ultimately understanding where the communication was lost along the solution that we provided initially.
Okay.
And then understanding where the adoption rate wasn't taken, and understanding broken that down. I actually got so concerned that I threw myself in the client's office for 2 weeks. Luckily enough, that client had their lead person she was scheduled for a vacation, and nobody was there to fill her shoe. So I said, hey, I understand. I document her procedures pretty well. I think I can do it. And I did, to show, hey, man, we're trying to do everything we can to save this relationship and make sure that, yes, you're upset with the solution. You're not happy with it.
Yeah.
But we're here to help you figure it out.
Yeah.
But because the business has, in life in general, when you have a plan, you don't account for all the other, what I call my contingencies. If you don't have a factor to base those contingencies, you're shooting at a target that could deviate, right? And so with this contingency factor and understanding what can happen and bake that into whatever process you need, then you have a room to kind of more time in your deliverable, more under promise, or was it over promise, under deliver, under deliver, you know what I mean? And then just it gives you that ability. So because I introduced the engineers to the client and opened up multiple channels of communication, and because my contingency factor didn't bring that in, that because now he's talking to 2 other engineers on the project, there's other conversations and wants and needs that aren't being cataloged, and then now we gave him too many options, and now he's overwhelmed because the first one's not working, right? That's when I took everything out and I kind of just created these little systems that everything's kind of coming through me. At the end of the day, I've been working 12 years to foster all of these leads, right? And my job, if I want to be effective, is anticipate what they need and how do I give it. With 4.0 and Trent and what he's doing over there, I'm working really closely with him and Matthew with I Code My Business, and we're really trying to understand the integration part with the Arise group and what we did with them, and understanding what gaps were exposed. When you expose these gaps, your job is to fix them, to make it not happen again.
Sure.
Now I'm asking you, I need revenue.
Sure.
I have lots of different options. And as somebody with ADHD, controlling that with the Shining Man syndrome or the Shining Object syndrome is really hard. So I rely on people like you, and I have other people that really try to help pull me in.
Yeah.
Because I rely on constructive criticism at the end of the day. So I have 4 voice agents that I can sell right now. I have 2 of them that I need right now. One of them, the 2 of them I can convert into. I just found out about Booked-In. Two minutes ago.
Yeah.
Like right before this call, before you, I was on their call. And I was like, gosh, dang it. Why did I not know about this 3 weeks ago, a month ago?
Yep.
And it was because I was in the other project, because I was focused on the other problems, other people's problems, not mine. Now I'm like, okay, I need to focus on me, because that's always been a problem of mine. Is I was being Mr. Nice Guy has kind of hindered me just a little bit, but it's also brought me to a lot of tables.
Sure.
So at the end of the day, I got to acknowledge the good with the bad, but I'm just trying to limit the bad.
So what is, I mean, we have like 9 minutes left, and I want to make sure I give you some value for this. And I'm glad to just be a sounding board, but let's like ask me a direct question.
If I should focus on building voice agents really fast for revenue, or use this Claude code, like I'm trying to cater to this Claude environment, because a $20 subscription at the end of the day is a way more powerful tool that I can work with and scale with a whole lot easier.
Sure.
And get social proof way faster. But I have these voice agents just sitting here, and I'm getting quotes to do it. And I'm like, and then I'm understanding how kind of easy it is. I don't, okay, let me rewind that. I don't mean easy. It's not easy. But with the right amount of work and dedication, you can develop something really quick.
Yes.
Is what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
So do I take that, or do I go, what, like, if you're in my shoes, what would you do?
Sure. I don't, to say what's, you know, if I were in your shoes, obviously I'd need a lot more context and time than what we've got on this channel. However, what I would say is, the context I do know that I'm bringing to this conversation before this call, because you and I have been together, I think you can niche down several ways, right? And I say niche down because ultimately you're making a choice is niching down, unless you're going to be a generalist and you're going to do an AI audit style like agency where you're a consultancy. That's the path I've chosen, where I'm a consultancy for medium-sized businesses, small and medium-sized businesses. When you're a consultancy, you have one offer, which is really helpful, because the offer is always, let me come spend some time with you and ask you some questions, learn about your processes, as you were describing your other client before. And so at the end of, you're getting paid both to do that, and then also when you deliver those, when you make the deliverables and you're giving them your output from your observations and the menu of products you'd recommend and the things you saw, then that's a second layer of business. So the first layer, I got paid to do the analysis and the discovery, the discovery sprint, as we'd call it, right? A week or two of the deep dive. So you're getting paid to do that work. And then that work leads to a schedule of work, a menu of them that we would say, hey, we recommend this implementation, etc., automation, some agent builds, whatever. And then those have a per ticket price. I'm just making sure you and I are thinking the same thing. So that's consulting. The other way, and then as you consult, what you learn is you learn specific offers that you build over time that have a lot of traction, that can be replicated quickly. And one of those that you're talking about right now is a voice agent, or an inbound agent system. Booked In is even more robust than just a voice agent. So that's also, for those listening who don't know, that's a partner with Liam. It looks like it may be built on a go high level structure, but either way, it's very replicable. I want to say it's a monthly subscription, like $500-600 a month, and then you have the ability to sell voice agent protocols rather quickly. So I agree with you. It's not that it's easy. It's simple, but it's high level. So once you've done it, you have the ability to crank those out. That is a niche down. So you can niche down in verticals. Say, you talked about your hydroponics solutions before. Like, you could niche down in that space, but you can also niche down laterally, right? Rockefeller niche down vertically. Carnegie niche down laterally. Either one make you a bunch of money, and it's great. So going all in on voice agents or inbound agents, I would even make it a little more broad than voice agents. That's just because it would be my preference. Gives you enough momentum. If you can niche down vertically and horizontally, you're talking about such a micro niche, which is great because there's a ton of money there, because you can call out your specific client with such precision that everyone knows when they are or are not that person. That's a massive, in a global economy, when you have AI running Meta Andromeda ads and the ability to with such precision target, like, so you're not just talking about salespeople. Like, let's say you wanted to target sales departments, obviously, or companies. You could say sales departments for carpet distributors in businesses with 3 to 5 employees making between $500,000 and $10 million globally. That is such a specific niche. and you would know their specific vernacular, their exact vocabulary, how they reference things, what their problems are. By the time it's done, you could sell just that demographic of people and make a killing. So does that make sense?
Yeah. And what this particular niche that I've been spending a lot of time is, since we've been experts in selling sheds, containers, metal buildings, awnings, turning conversion kits, like the whole.
Yep.
And we are the solution behind all of it as well.
Yep.
So we're really just trying to understand what we have, the tools do we use to interpret it, and then the quickest way for ROI.
Yeah. So if I'm you, I can tell you this, because I have been you in other times of life. The first thing you need is a long walk. And I mean that respectfully. Like, take a long walk and have an honest conversation with yourself about the moment you're in. And say, hey, I need revenue. And I don't know your numbers, but like, let's work with numbers, because we don't want to make emotional decisions. How many days do you have a solvency, right? Do you have cash to go 30 days, 60 days, 90 days? What does that look like? That's emergency fund money. That's, that's pre-go get a job money. What kind of cash do I have to invest in myself, and what time does that buy me? And then establish cutoffs. Establish very natural checkpoints that say, hey, if I don't reach these numbers by X date, I'm making a different choice. Because you can still build an agency with a job. You can build it broke too, and by yourself. It just, you have a wife and a family and all these, so you have different needs. Whereas a 20-year-old coming into this community, just fresh out of college or mid sophomore year at university, he's got a totally different outlook than you and I, right? So
what do you compare it to?
Yeah. So we're not apples to apples. So you need to take an honest census of where you're at. Then you need to set natural check marks that logically, not emotionally, make sense. Hey, if I hit this amount in my bank account in this many days, I need to go get a job. However, the inverse is true. If I can show this much in intake, in gross, or this much in margin, net, in so many days, the opposite is true. I buy myself more time. I would look for, you want leverage. Leverage means more output for the same unit of time. So how do you sell a high ticket, and ticket, I mean value, solution to fewer people, right? So I can sell this Apple Pen, which is $100, to, I don't know, 1,000 people this month, and try to make $100,000, or what would that be? $100 solution to 100 people would make me $10,000. Or I can sell one AI solution to one company for $10,000. I would rather do that for lots of reasons. So a voice solution can be legit. I mean, I know 8 months ago, I was seeing people sell inbound agents to medical spas for $8,000 plus, like just for the install plus royalty, which led to valuation and finding their name on the org chart. So that's one of my own early clients. Like, I mean, Otto helped coach him through the sales on that, and I got to be a part of that journey too. So like, you can make plenty of money, but you have to base it, when you go to make that decision, you have to base it in real math that you can show on a calculator, and show them the value of 2 or 3 things. The first is cash over cash. What am I going to save you in cash, raw dollars this year? So if an owner makes $100 an hour and you replace 20 hours a month for them, great. Then you can say to them, I'm going to save you $2,000 a month, which is $24,000 a year. That's cash over cash. But then what is that 24 or 20 hours a month now going to cause you to have in available time, right? So you could project that's at least the same value reintegrated. So now we're at $48,000 a year. And then you could say, great, now what is the opportunity benefit that's available to you? And that would be mistakes not made, successful things done, and also future discoveries. And that number is usually a power, a multiple. Yeah. So I just delivered a solution to a client where I was able to save just the lead executive 600 hours a year. That's a lot. And then when I gave him back that time, and then when I was able to say on top of that, all in, the solution was $770,000 in possible opportunity benefit, not counting cash over cash, with an ROI in year one of 1,600%. Bro, when you can do that, you can charge anything you want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
The proof.
Yeah. So you just have to be able to prove it. It can't be a good idea. I have to have a great idea anchored in facts and then show them a spreadsheet that says if X, then Y plus Z equals whatever. And I just need to take a percentage of that. And that percentage as a consultant comfortably is 10 to 20%. So you don't have to wonder if I can actually make that amount. You have to be able to prove the value. And if the value doesn't end up in your favor, then you can just already go, this is not a solution I can use to get to meet my goals.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
100%.
But I will say this. My daughter made $400 in 2 days at a lemonade stand because she knows how to think this way at 13. Like, so it's a condition. You just have to condition yourself to do it. How am I going to not sell lemonade? How am I going to sell the opportunity to sell lemonade to my friends in the neighborhood and incentivize them to sell my lemonade, and I make a small portion of it? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so you get to think bigger. Our time is up, but I've been glad to take a few extra minutes. So do the math, be honest with yourself, set realistic checkpoints. The negative side, what's the low water mark when I need to find something else to do in addition to grow my own business? And the high water mark, when, if I sell X, can I continue and buy myself more time? And then you have to find a high leverage opportunity that doesn't require you to sell more than 2 to 4 per month to escape the gravity of your own finances. And only you know what those numbers are. But I just find it's unreasonable as an agency owner for me to service much more than 4 clients a month, and still be able to serve them at a deep enough level to charge a price that's worth it.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
No, value is so good. I call myself the Pauly G's, very thankful.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
so appreciate you.
Of course.
Look forward to collaborations on other channels as well. Yeah, this was cool. I can't believe I'm the first guy on your new deal.
So
I
day
think
one.
that's
So we this is the first. You were actually the last of 4 on the first call. So I'm excited to be on show number 1 with you.
Talk to you soon, man.
So, dude, and again, this is going to be happening, I'm hoping, bi-weekly, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So people are going to be more timid to book these, so the opportunity to jump on these calls will be more available.
Well,
So
I appreciate that. I love the platform, dude. This it helps serve purpose. I have this studio. I built it for a reason.
of course.
Do it.
All right, man. We'll
Talk to
see
you
you soon. All right, Chris. Bye. Friends, I hope that's helpful to you, as I hope it was to Chris and to those that came on today. Look, we are building meaningful businesses, things that change people's lives that they then, bless us to be a part of. And so that's what this show is about, the Build Show live with Erik Bledsoe, trying to help you make the decisions that will lead to, prospering other people and yourself. One of my favorite stories in the Bible, in the Jewish Bible, Hebrew Old Testament, is a story of a guy named Abraham who the Lord comes to and says, look, I intend to bless you, and to bless you so much that I bless the whole world through you. And we believe that. We believe that that's exactly the kind of people we get to be. And so we do that through our business. Business is a sacred task. It's where we get to serve others so much that they want to return a portion of that benefit, of that wealth, to us. And that's precisely what an agency owner or a service-based industry is. It's an exchange of wealth where I help to enrich people's lives by helping them lay hold of a value or escape a pain, and in return they give me a fraction of that to them is a reasonable compensation that they're glad to give in exchange for the value I offer. That's what we're all about. So I hope that's helpful to you. I hope today has been as much fun for you as it has been for me. This is round 1. I look forward to a lot more calls. Until then, friends, I will see you later this week. Build what matters. You've got one life. Don't waste it chasing things that don't matter. Build what matters. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.